So today we started learning about decimals. And remember, I told you, similar to fractions, decimals represent a part of a whole. So I said, for example, if you go out shopping, and you guys didn't know what a decimal was, but I asked you, did you ever see this kind of dot here when you're shopping, something that's $4.50? So the $4, that represents the whole, right? $4 bills. And then 50 cents is part of a whole, okay? So today, we focused on the number that comes right after the decimal point, and that is called a tenth. A tenth, okay? So we worked on writing an equivalent fraction to a decimal. So if I have 5/10, if I wanted to represent this in a fraction, I would put a 5 over a 10. 5/10. The 10 is the whole, represented in our denominator, and the 5 is our numerator. If I have 7/10, that equals, right in a fraction, 7/10. And it even sounds the same, 7/10, 7/10. I can also write it as a fraction. And then we wrote an equivalent decimal, which was, right, decimal point 3, 3/10. So the number right after the decimal is the tenths place. Tenths, okay? Make sure I'm recording. Woo! All right, I got 10 minutes before I got to get you for lunch. Okay, so then we had mixed numbers. So I could have 3 and 2/10. And if I wanted to write that as a decimal, the 3 is a whole, right? 3 decimal point 2/10. 3.2. 3 and 2/10. Okay. So we're going to go over our worksheet. And remember, this is brand new, so you can't expect to totally understand it yet. It takes time, but with practice, you will get it, okay? I'm trying to think if there's any other important vocab. And then we also used pictures, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 10 parts. So if I was going to write a fraction, I know my denominator is going to be 10 because that represents the whole. How many parts are in the entire thing? And remember, this morning, I ate only 3 pieces of my chocolate bar. Today I'm a little hungrier right now. I'm getting that afternoon like sleepiness. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to eat 6 pieces. So if I wanted to write a fraction to represent the shaded portion, I would have 6/10. And then if I want to write that in decimal form, 0.6. We want the 6 in the tenths place, okay? All right, so let's look at our homework. So for homework today, we actually went straight out of the workbook. Oh my goodness. I'm going to walk you through some of it. I'll read you all of it. And we'll go over it tomorrow in class. Number 1, Tyler is making meatloaf for dinner. He uses 7/10 pound of onions in his ground meat mixture. Use the tenths model to show the amount of onions in the meatloaf. And you do not need to use a color for this. You can use a pencil. Okay. So I bet there's 10 parts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. He uses 7/10 pound. Okay. That means 7 parts. So you're going to color it. 1, 2, 3. And do we have to be perfect when we color? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So that is 7/10. Write the weight of the onions as a decimal. How can I write 7/10 as a decimal? I bet you guys already got it. Ready? Point. We want the 7 in the tenths place. 7. We can write pound to label our response. Okay. Number 2. Mrs. Thomas gives each student 1 3/10 inches of tape to write their names on and attach to their projects. Show the length of tape that Mrs. Thomas gives each student on the number line. Ooh, we have a mixed number. 1 3/10, okay? Normally when we've been looking at number lines, we just go from 0 to 1, right? And when we were creating our fractions, because that's part of a whole. But here we have a mixed number. So we have a whole, which goes from the 0 to the 1. So that's our 1. We need 1 3/10. So then we just need 3/10. So we'd make 3 hops, right? So we would need to make lines. So remember, when we have a line here and a line here, we do 1 less than what is needed. So 10, we're going to draw 9 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lines. And how many jumps? 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And I land right here. So that is the length of tape that Mrs. Thomas gives each student. Now, write the length of tape that Mrs. Thomas gives each student as a decimal. All you need to do is write 1 3/10 as a decimal. I'm going to start you off, but I'm not going to finish. It's going to be 1, because that's my whole point. Anything to the left of the decimal, that's my whole. So this is the ones place here. Okay? Point. How can I write 3/10? And remember, look at this one. What do you think? If that's 7/10, how do we do 3/10? What would come after my decimal? All right, number 3. James's dad wants to cut the grass. The tenths model show the number of gallons of gas in James's dad's lawnmower. Write the number of gallons as a mixed number and as a decimal. So, remember, these are all models with 10 parts. When it's all shaded, it becomes a whole. How many holes do I have? This is one hole. This is one. This is one. This is one. Is this a whole? No, it's not all shaded. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to write it as a mixed number. You're going to write it as a decimal. Then I'm going to draw my line for my fraction. So when we do a mixed number, that means it's going to be a number with the fraction because it's mixed. It's got a whole and it's got a part. It's got its big whole and its fraction. So how many are shaded? 2. So that's my shaded part, and there's 10 parts in all. 4 2/10. How can you write that as a decimal? You got this. All right. These you're going to all do on your own. I'm going to read them to you. Number 4, which fraction is represented by the tenths model? Number 5, Billy Waters, I was saying like his name is Billy Waters. Billy waters a garden with 4 8/10 liters of water, which shows the number of liters as a decimal. So 4 is our whole number. It's going to be 4.8 8/10. Which one? I gave you a really big hint there. Number 6. Louisa runs 1 6/10 miles on a track. Which point on the number line shows the distance Louisa runs? So remember, 1 6/10. So you got to hop to the 1. Then which dot, is it C or D, represents 6/10? Bottom spiral review. That means I've learned this before. I'm going to read them to you and you're going to solve. Number 7. Tina is making coffee for 18 people, and I'll do a secret word. So just hold on. Tina is making coffee for 18 people in a meeting. She plans for each person to get 2 cups of coffee. If each pot makes 12 cups, how many pots of coffee does Tina make? Oh, so she's making coffee for 18 people in a meeting. She plans for each person to get 2 cups of coffee. You know what? We are going to do this in class tomorrow. If you can figure this out, I'll give you a McLeod buck. But this is a multi-step problem, okay? We're gonna dive into this in class tomorrow. Okay, that'll be what we do first. Number 8. Ooh, you can do this. Find the perimeter of a rectangular garden with a width of 49 feet and a length of 84 feet. I want you to draw a rectangle. Label it. Remember, when we find the perimeter, we add all sides. So if it's a rectangle, it's length plus width plus length plus width. But you always add all sides together, okay? That's how you find your area. And remember, opposite sides are equal. All right, secret word. Secret word is flat rock, because we're going tomorrow. Woohoo! All right, I got to get you guys from lunch now. And I'll see you tomorrow. You also, there's no spelling this week, but you need to read, okay? 20 minutes.